Welcome, ladies and gents, to the Island Party! That's right, we have got Iaguz versus DauT, HRE versus France. Does that mean it's just a done deal, though? Because look at the map, guys. Look at this. It's DauT, the Lord and Savior DauT, and we are playing on an island map. And he's France. How will HRE hold back against this? How can they do it? We're going to find out. Because this game, I didn't want to find out the details specifically of it, but I will tell you this. It isn't over in 20 minutes. So this one will go the long haul. HRE should reach the late game boom. And remember, this is where things could get spicy, guys, because when I tell you this game could go late, we're talking about a situation where France, their advantage in the war, ekes away the longer the game goes. And we're talking about HRE, their advantage in the war booms up heavy if you can get access to those relics. Because remember, HRE have this very unique ability to station relics in their docks to get additional attack speed on all of their vessels. And remember, these islands are fairly small, which means if someone does eke out a ginormous advantage in the late game on water, they will destroy their opponent. So let's see how this one goes. As I said already, red is going to be DauT on that front. And Iaguz, who, if you're not familiar, Iaguz, he is a former Terran StarCraft player. I believe he's Australian. He competed a reasonable amount. I think he casted some as well. He's been in that community for years. So he is a seasoned and experienced RTS player. And of course, DauT needs no introduction. I know you guys love him here on the channel. I know you guys in Age of Empires know and love him as well. One of the more decorated and successful Age of Empires 2 players. Been switching over that AoE 4. And it seems like he's been having fun with it. And he's been taken to it like a duck on water. That's a duck as in like that thing that swims. I don't know what other type of duck there is. What I'm trying to tell you is he's a duck that's alive, guys. He's not that shredded duck you had at that delicious restaurant recently, which if you put that on water, it would sink. I don't know why that's an important differentiation, but let's actually focus on the game, because so far, we're production heavy. We expect this every time. And this is why I thought this would be an interesting matchup, by the way, is HRE having access to the prelate means they are a lot more efficient early on at getting wood and gold. And that is where you potentially can counter out this zerging on the water that happens whenever you're up against the French players, because they always go for these hulks. So I'm really excited to see how this early transition occurs and how Iaguz counters the war. Because right now, you can already see fishing ship-wise, he's got a lead. Like, look, he already has fishing ships out. First fishing ship only just came out for DauT. So Iaguz will get a quicker tech-up timing. Guarantee that, right? And when he does, he will then also probably go for Aachen Chapel, or the Chapel, as I've been told. I didn't need to phlegm pronounce it even further. Which he will be able to just basically place, probably here, between 2 gold veins, stone outcropping, and a huge tree line. Which means he'll be able to buff the most critical resource producers on an island map that you can, right? So this is where I think HRE is like low-key potent as hell on water maps. And we're going to see if that comes to fruition in this game. That being said, remember, this prelate did cost him gold, so he is behind on that front right now. You can actually see the gold count, but this will catch up quickly. The difference is that DauT needs to collect extra food right now, which he's doing as he starts to get more fishing ships out. But right now, count-wise, Iaguz up to 5, still has the advantage there. I'd love to see him just switch some people over to gold, and he does. There we go. He does exactly that. So now he has 6 people working on gold. DauT still is limited by the food, but Iaguz will catch up due to these 5 fishing ships, make that 6. And with that free fishing boat advantage, I think he will be able to begin to tech up before his opponent. Let's see how it goes. I love how, by the way, clicking on unit still gets responses in Observer. Inti. Oh, this is cool as well. Iaguz actually puts a few extra people on food, identifying that like gold isn't going to be the limiting factor. My gold is fine, but my food isn't coming in quick enough. He's up to 7 fishing ships now. It'd probably be more efficient to switch some of these additional shoreline fish. Actually, I say that as deep water fish, but maybe this other deep water fish, any additional ones I'd probably send there, just because of the extra time it takes to go around. Deep water fish is more efficient than shoreline, by the way. The gather rate is about 1.1 per second compared to, I think it's 0.75 or 0.8 per second for shoreline fish. So shoreline fish are about the same level of efficiency as going after these sheep. And Iaguz has it. He can tech up. But DauT started building first. The difference is that Iaguz, look at this, he instantly switches every single one over. He's bringing all of them, 13 people. This is going to be such a quick tech timing. I say that. Chamber of Commerce is halfway built for DauT already. That being said, Iaguz should be able to beat him. So Iaguz right now is 13 workers. He's at about a 3 times build speed compared to the 2 that isn't even at 2 times. So this will be a quicker tech timing for Iaguz, but it won't be as much of a difference as you'd expect when you consider how many workers he's put on this. And as soon as that happens, you should just see the bank in immediately. He has sent the prelate over here. He's buffed all these people, but this will be the moment to move him back. He also does need to deal with his pop cap issue. But then you immediately get the prelate in, and then you should be able to just gold vein mine, you'll be able to tree mine, and then you can immediately start spamming out these ships. In fact, what I really love to see from him is I just love to see a secondary dock, because once you have this up, I think you actually have the income to sustain double dock output, just spamming out at galleys. And I think with double dock, I'm pretty sure that's actually enough to beat out hulks. I'm certain, actually. By the way, DauT still hasn't finished his tech up. This was a lot slower than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be about 85% when Guz finished his tech up, but instead, Iaguz now with a huge advantage. Prelate is about to be banked, and what on earth is his people? I don't know why they all went to the food. That must have been a misclick play. So he's sticking everyone on gold right now. So nobody's on wood. Is this another misclick? This seems a bit funky. But anyway, let's focus on DauT. DauT has teched up now. He has the secondary dock, which means he'll be able to do additional sales. This is going to be important if he wants to reach his timing on the hulks, because you need to reinforce the hulk spam across the map quicker. And he already scouted out this with the fishing ship. Look how awkward this generation is. This really does favor HRE. In this situation, it's going to buy more time against the hulk rushes, which means that he will have more time to build up his defenses, right? Those defenses I would love to see starting to be spammed now, because he still only has 1 dock. Wait, what? Is this what he was doing? Oh my god, Iaguz! He doesn't care about the water. He's actually going for the tech free instantly. This is the true tech boom we were talking about, folks. This is how you do it. If you are in on a tech boom, you do the complete tech boom and you go for a pre-8-minute tier 3 timing, which he will achieve by getting this Regnitz Cathedral. Meanwhile, look at DauT. Where's DauT? Where's his tech up? No tech up. He's looking for a stick up on the water because he's trying to build these hulks. He's only got 1 of them out so far, and he's not even pressuring. This is going to catch DauT completely by surprise. This is the cheesy power, man. This is what happens when you give a map where HRE can fully commit to eco. Because you don't worry about a land rush. You don't have a military presence on your island. And even from a dock perspective, because of how pricey hulks are, and because of the tech timing you saw your opponent commit to, you know you can get away with this. 7.5 minutes Regnitz Cathedral timing. You know, I've seen these timings. I've done similar timings in the stress test. I played a lot of HRE back then. But I always felt like the problem with doing it was that you were exposed. You were really exposed. So keep in mind, what Iaguz has done here is powerful, but it is situational. You will not do this absolutely every game, but I can 100% guarantee you, if you're playing on an island map, you will probably do this about 80% of your games. You know what the big deal is? Hulks. Straight away. You want to know what the counter is to Hulk spamming France on the water? Hulk spam them back, because guess what? These Hulks, these aren't early ones. These are stronger than the ones that DauT is now sending in. And even from a single dock, this will be potent enough to repel this incoming Hulk completely. Second dock as well. And he'll have the eco to support this as well. He hasn't gone for the specialized picks. I would love to see it, but it doesn't really matter that much, right? Oh, 15% Gabba rate would be nice. You're already getting a 40% buff, though, so whoop-de-doo. What I would love to see is 3 docks, 2 of them to produce hulks, and then 1 of them gets a transport ship to go and grab the other relics. Which, by the way, I didn't even look at this yet. Look at the relic spawns here. 4 relics next to one of the 2 sacred sites. This is the BS we deal with in this game, folks. This generation is vile. This is actually disgusting. This, sir, should be a ban. 4 relics on 1 island. I think the counter argument is that DauT didn't start with a relic on his island, but who cares? Look how easily accessible this would be for him. In fairness, his opponent does have all the gold veins. I think in general, this generation is disgustingly bad from both perspectives. One side has all the gold veins, one side has all the relics. I don't know what the hell happened here. Okay, so here we go. Hulks are out. You can see they're even in terms of damage output. But remember, he's got more docks and he's got more eco. So he'll be able to spam out a lot more hulks than his opponent will be able to. Not to mention he's on the defensive. Not to mention if he wants, he could take this out at any time, put it in, and get a better attack speed on his ships. There's another Hulk. Third dock going down. How many is he up to on DauT? DauT has 3 now, I believe. Yep, 3 docks. They're split up so you can get efficient efficiency as well. Try and say that 10 times quickly. With trip dock, and I feel like Iaguz can keep going here. DauT has slowed down his tech up timings for the Hulk spam, which is now counted. And this should be the moment where he just identifies he needs to tech up because he doesn't have numbers. Like, he can't funnel them quick enough across the map. He is up to 4 Hulks, but now Iaguz, like, he can just get 5, 6 before you reinforce, and then he can easily just push in. Transport ship completed for DauT. Is DauT going to go for... No, he's not going for the TC expansion. Is he going for the relics? I mean, he doesn't know about this, so I don't know. But he could potentially go to an island. If he spotted this, he could just immediately, with few villies, build a temple and get all 4 of these for 400 gold per minute. He is teching up now, so he's going towards the guild hall. Remember, this is the one that you choose what resource you want to generate, and then over time it generates more when it's a larger sizing. And then at any point, you can collect all the resources out for free. Hulk spam on Hulk spam, though. Advantage definitely going the way of Iaguz. And remember, he can chase this down now. DauT. Does he have the movement speed advantage here? I think they both did... No. Okay, he's away. Iaguz hasn't stopped off to actually get his hands on additional sails yet. This is the difference. So it means that he can pull away even with his injuries. And now the dented damage done to Iaguz's line will turn against him once they arrive back at DauT's docks. Because DauT will have 1 or 2 extra Hulks, and then he'll start healing under his own dockyards. DauT finally with the castle age timing. Iaguz, remember, he hasn't actually extended this gold line further, so he's not looking for that imp age tech up timing, which could be big. Don't get me wrong, the carricks are nice, but the reason he's not doing it is because this is going to be won or lost on the water based on the Hulks. The Hulks will be the main battle force. The carricks are more for sieging later. That being said, carricks do have a decent range. They can screw over Hulks quite a bit. It's just, with how costly they are compared to Hulks, I think Hulks, I'd still say, are a better investment and a better trade. It's just, you obviously want the carricks when you get to someone's island and start sieging them. By the way, the reason I also feel that way is I think it's the pop cap difference. Like, carricks, I get they are really potent and really powerful, but I think if you were to math this out, like, if you were to pop cap Hulks and carricks, I'm pretty sure Hulks win. I'll have to test that. I feel like it's close, but I do feel like Hulks still have the edge. They're bulky. You'd have more of them because they cost 2 less pop cap per. And I think in that situation, the Zergy numbers of it just win. And the fishing ships from DauT. The problem is these fishing ships aren't good enough when you're up against Hulks. Look, he'll just snipe one out. Boom, that one's gone. And then he'll target in the other one. Almost gets that as well. And he'll instantly sink all the repair crew. All the fishing ships are gone. He'll start to lose a few Hulks back. But this is the problem with relying on fishing ships in battle to heal up the Hulks. Not only are fishing ships squishy themselves, but more importantly, when you talk about Hulks, it's not about sustained fire, it's all about burst fire. And you so quickly rip through a Hulk with this many that these repair ships are just getting no value. So it's just kind of a waste to even send the fishing ships up. That being said, there is a point to be said for skirmishes involving fishing ships from a cannon fodder perspective. But really, if your opponent is good enough at microing, it never works. What I'm referring to, by the way, is the fact that when you have fishing ships in the mix, if they are auto-attacking, they'll attack the fishing ships quite often. And if like 5 of them send a volley to a fishing ship, it's inefficient fire, right? But we're not going to see that, I don't think. It's hard to pull off, and I think they both understand that they're dealing with opponents that, like, they're both dealing with an opponent that actually micros correctly and won't get caught off guard like that. And more importantly, now look at the number that Iaguz has, this numerical advantage, pushing him with demo ships as well. And he isn't even... This is actually a cool kind of threat, right? Because he has the number advantage, notice that DauT isn't even turning around to fire. Because, yes, he could snipe out these demo ships with 1 salvo each, but there'd be return fire from these Hulks that would instantly eviscerate each of his. And now, those Hulks in trouble. Demo ships are in. The boom will be good. He gets even deeper for the maximum hit and sinks multiple Hulks here. Iaguz taking full advantage on the water. That being said, heavy casualties on his side as a lot of his ships are heavily damaged, but he will clean up the Hulk force. France is being repelled. Iaguz has used Surf, and it is super effective, it turns out, as DauT is running out of Hulk ships quickly. Meanwhile, look at Iaguz moving in, looking to actually pick up extra relics with his Prelate. Really should have brought a worker over there, because, to be honest, they're all on one island, but... Now pushing in. Pressure on. More docks being built by DauT. Sinking more of these Hulks. They're trading favorably. He will eventually lose this fleet of Hulks, but Iaguz is happy. Like, the investment cost for DauT is so phenomenal here. The demo ship in, though. He's not paying attention. He sinks free. And that will alleviate the pressure much quicker than it should have. Iaguz getting caught off guard here by the demo ship. Boom. His fleet will be sunk. He has got replenishments incoming with a demo ship as well. And that demo ship chasing in. Needs to be careful. He's about to get boomed himself. No! Iaguz doesn't pay attention. Takes heavy damage on multiple Hulks here. Does sink the other Hulk with his own demo ship, though, so he has the number advantage once more. But DauT has started to expand. Look at this. He's got a wood line on the secondary island here. Understand that this is going to burn up quickly. And he could even look to TC boom in the center here and get a secondary eco line going. Meanwhile, his opponent hasn't. Instead, look what's happening right now. Iaguz is going for the sacred sites. He wants to force a land army investment out of DauT. Well, he already controls the sea. He wants to make sure that DauT can never match him on the sea because he'll be forced to respond on land. Really smart play out of Iaguz. Now push in. Hulks just being cheese healed up by the fishing boats, though. There are nowhere near enough Hulks here to actually do this for Iaguz. And in fact, he's getting wrapped on. Reinforcements incoming. Demo ship booms onto only one Hulk, but that's good enough damage that they should be able to finish that one off. And the demo ship in, they snipe it just in time. Does do enough damage to take down one ship instantly and damage another, though. And now the push in again. The Hulk not healing up quick enough. One more salvo should take it down. And the trickle in is too strong. Just look at the income per minute. Iaguz is still ahead of DauT. Wood is in favor of DauT, though, so Iaguz should eventually drain himself here. But with the sacred sites under his control, Iaguz is undoubtedly ahead in the gold department, and will stay that way. And you know what would actually be a really cool play right now? Because this isn't spotted. What if DauT was to actually build a dock here and get one or two demo ships out? He would actually just destroy Iaguz's economy. Like, his food income would go to zero, and he'd never be able to tech up. He'd be forced to pivot, right? But we're not seeing that right now. And this would be the prime time to do it before Iaguz expands, because I do expect Iaguz to island hop very soon as he's running out of trees on his home island. Hulk on once more. Can't get more trades going right now. And it looks like he has banked one of these relics. So remember, those relics are going to give extra value inside the Regnic's Cathedral. So gold treacle will continue to be stronger for Iaguz. You can already see a 400, almost 500 deficit when you look at DauT's. And in terms of production, they're both able to keep up this war production, and they're really being forced to. I need to see an investment soon from DauT, though, to go decap this. He needs a transport ship, and then the big brain play that Iaguz could have committed to is if he built some defenses here, like a keep. Because then DauT won't be able to just decap with a scout or, like, you know, some pathetic, like, worker force, right? Instead, decapping this, although it's going to require some of DauT's attention, it's going to require a minuscule quantity. So I'm a little bit upset that Iaguz didn't go for like the more all-in play. Instead, Iaguz is going for the TC boom on his home island right now. Now this is interesting. So he will be right next to the gold vein. Remember, we said he's still getting value here because his people are still mining with the buff all around them. And he's going back to the wood line as well. But really would just love to see him stack up this transport ship and move across to the primary island because he scouted this out, right? Yeah, he's on this. He knows how much gold is on this one island. It's a ridiculous quantity. 3 8K gold veins on this one island. I don't know if in his mind he thinks it's similar on his opponent's island, but there isn't. I mean, he knows this, right? Because he scouted this island as well. Yeah, so he knows it's just relics here. The problem is he hasn't come back for these relics, and now his opponent has moved across, and he instantly goes into building the defenses. So Outpost will go down for DauT. He'll decap this sacred site, cap it for himself, and then you'll never get your hands on this again as Iaguz. What you do at least have as Iaguz is a superior fleet. Not by much, though. Yeah, DauT has closed the gap. This breakup in pressure and this staggered pressure before that has really now hurt Iaguz. And I love this move, especially from DauT's perspective, because not only is he going to defend this island, but look, Monastery, he done what we expected Iaguz to try and do. He sees all these relics are here, and he wants to exploit that, knowing he's up against a HRE opponent that gets so much value out of relics, not only from his cathedral, but to bank them into the docks on water. Hulks on Hulks. Demo ship's trying to move in. And the demo ship chase forces both Hulk forces to retreat, but the damage being done on both sides as they get pinched up against the cliffs. But more damage seems to have been done to Iaguz's fleet here, as the split, the micro from DauT was too good. And now he can focus fire down these lads under the protection of his own docks healing him. Iaguz's fleet is just going to be demolished here. And it looks like DauT is starting to move forward here. This is getting a bit worrying for Iaguz. So fleet will be cleaned up. New fleet being built. And now, like, in this situation, there is going to be no dock expansion that I want to see out of DauT because this one Hulk is basically stopping you from even trying it. That's a scouting vessel, but also like a deterrent vessel for Iaguz. But DauT now has the ability to push out past the mid-apex point on the water map here. And in fact, he's sending demo ships. Yeah, I think that was just a waypointed. That shouldn't be going alone. But now he will cap the relic site, or decap it rather, and he can, with just one monk, just go around and get huge value out of 3 relics just left here by Iaguz. Like, make no mistake, have no doubt, DauT himself is coming back into this game. And it's going to be in a big way at this rate. As the Hulk fleet still sustained, demo ships, forces fire onto them, but in a retreating fashion, this is valuable because he didn't have to turn the ships to fire. That demo ship is going to catch up, though. So they'll boom one of the Hulks, and the rest of them need to retreat now. There hasn't been any repair duty out of DauT, though, so a lot of these ships are still injured, but they have the number advantage to force Iaguz back. Demo ships now incoming from Iaguz. Is DauT paying attention? He is. He's backing away. He scans his ships as well. This is how you counter this. With Hulks, remember, yeah, even when you have a Zerg, you have this kind of quality over quantity where 3 or 4 of them can easily snipe out a demo ship, and he does exactly that. Doesn't mean he's going to lose the trade in the end, but it's been a costly one for Iaguz. Remember, he's losing about equal ships, and he lost the initial bout before that. So DauT will back up, but he's replenishing his fleet. More of these Hulks coming out, and remember, he's going to have the gold treacle now. When we look at the income per minute, as he starts to pick these up, DauT, with these relics, should kick up into the close to 1,000 mark, and he's also gathering stone. So it looks like DauT might be planning a TC expansion, or even looking to put some keeps on this pass. And then you completely block out your opponent's approach. Not to mention the fact, if he wants to, he can set up a forward base here after winning this down, with a keep, and with cheaper units coming out of like a stable archery range. And then once you get past this kind of, this apex point in the map, right? Once you get past this choke, then you can actually flood onto the islands. That being said, he could also make this play here, which would be actually so epic. If he could sneak onto the water and then get like 1 or 2 transport ships in. Remember that Iaguz still has no military presence on land. 0. Absolutely 0. So he'd be fully exposed. Speaking of presence on land, economy-wise, Iaguz is strong, right? Wouldn't it be good if he could expand to a new island? Why, yes. Yes, it would, fellow viewer. So that's why he's going to take 32 villages, in fact, well, 29, 2 prelates, across to the primary island. This is so well nicely done. So he'll be able to split them up between wood and gold. Primarily this will be for gold, though. And with a double prelate, he'll be able to stick 1 on each vein line, and they'll boost almost all of these workers. And I think, has he gone, what text did he get? Did he build? Okay, he hasn't built a monastery yet. If he imps up, I really want to see a monastery, because then he can get the additional treacle, because he did get 3 of these in the end, by the way. We should really highlight that. That he managed to sneak back in and take another by the looks of it. I don't know how, but yeah, there were 3 here. Only 2 of them got banged. So he snuck another relic, which means he's getting full cap value out of this Regnitz Cathedral right now. Really well played by Iaguz. I wish I could actually like rewind and see exactly when he done that. Because I feel like DauT was here quick enough that it probably shouldn't have happened. But nicely played by Iaguz. And now, yeah, there's the keep. So he's just trying to keep stronghold control, make sure that there's never a threat onto this sacred site. This also gives him a staging point. While he cannot make it to the primary base, what he can now do is set up a line of military production buildings. And then he can funnel them across to the second sacred site island, which would be a huge deal. Because right now, look at DauT's force. He can hold this choke point. Iaguz doesn't have the numbers just yet. Saying that, he is now bringing them. Demo ships chasing in. If he can interrupt this demo line, it'll be huge. Boom in. Doesn't quite get it, but he does back up his own fleet in time. He's going to be able to avoid most casualties onto his Hulks. Decent damage done by DauT, but DauT now at a significant disadvantage in terms of Hulk numbers. Will be forced to back away. Because we're actually sitting at 10 versus 7. But still, controlling that choke, right? This is all that matters to him right now. DauT has a plan, and it's all around these sacred sites and expanding to that island. And if I'm DauT, I have to be thinking that, like, this doesn't make sense that there's no gold on this island and there's no gold on this island, right? So he probably anticipates that there's got to be a huge gold influx on the final island that isn't the home island, right? So I think from DauT's perspective, he understands that he's going to have to make a move soon. Otherwise, he's going to surrender so much gold over to the HRE player. And when you're talking about a faction that already has an advantage due to the Regnit's Cathedral and the gather rates, like you have this time frame, you have this window to actually exploit this situation. Because you still haven't actually started trading with the coastal trade posts in this game. Which, by the way, is 100% an option he can engage with as long as he holds this choke point. The problem is he's investing so much of his wood and gold into this fleet constantly being renewed that he wouldn't be able to actually side invest into going for trade ships. Demo ships, good damage done. I think he has the trade advantage here. Interesting mix of galleys into the mix from Iaguz. They're cheaper, they absorb shots, and they don't have to turn left or right to fire. But looks like DauT has the advantage. Guz is going to be forced to retreat again. He actually needs to get the rest of his troops out of here before he loses them. Now, he does have a keep overwatching this pass, but doesn't have the range to attack onto these ships. And this should be where DauT starts to push in and pressure more. Guz needs to get a lot more ships out than he currently has. And he definitely has to have the eco to do so. He just doesn't have the dock output to do so is the problem here. Outpost even joining in. Hulks don't really care too much. DauT kind of burning his fleet just to get rid of the remainder that Iaguz has. And you can see the reinforcements coming in. It is home field advantage again for Guz, but DauT is just replenishing while this is happening. Getting more demo ships out, getting more of these Hulks, and more importantly, expanding his influence because now the wood line continues north near to Iaguz's main base on this island. And while Iaguz has committed to this expansion, and Guz is getting plenty of wood and gold, remember, if this goes like stalemate long, one side is going to lack gold, the other will probably end up lacking wood. And there's that tech up. Guz is there. We were expecting this. He reached the food requirement, and that was kind of the nice thing. He has so many people on gold, doesn't need that many on food because he's not producing anything that really costs food at this point in the game, right? So now he's up to Imp Age. If he wants, he can switch into carrick production. I'd be interested to see if he, yeah, there it is. He's going to do it. So he's getting a few carricks. Remember, carricks have additional range. And because of the way these fights are happening around these choke points, it's going to be very hard for DauT to get deep enough to counter the carrick play without taking up himself. I do love this move to set up more keeps coming out of DauT, just trying to make these choke points harder to funnel through. The problem is that right now, Guz is comfortable. Guz can stay just 2 islands and actually play this out into an ultra late game scenario and not be the one who's eco-starved. Let's look at current vision, by the way. Yeah, I really like that DauT has great vision, actually. Guz is really split. He doesn't even have full vision of his own island. Whereas DauT has full vision of his own island. And full vision of 2 other islands, right? My only concern is this whole time this has been happening, and DauT still hasn't been able to utilize this nearby island to make a kind of strategic task force that goes into the primary island to just sink his economy, right? To sink Guz's economy. And I think this is a wasted opportunity. Now at this stage, it's very hard up against the carricks. Remember, carricks, they do less damage than Hulks, but I think their attack speed is faster. 4.5 attack speed. Hulks are, yeah, much lower, I'm pretty sure. 3.95. So this more or less kind of evens up. But remember, carricks have more health, and I believe they have more range. 9 tiles compared to the 7. Yeah. So these carricks will start to make the difference. And these carricks are already spotting out all these outposts. So he could easily siege all this down. Guys, we've seen the incredible bulk, and now we're about to see the rise of carrick. This is carracketeering, actually, is what I'm going to call this from HRE, because he gets way too much gold out of his current strategy. Carricks are exposed, and they're way too far in now. He let the Hulks get too close. He's going to back up. That's going to be 1 sunk for nothing. He's spamming out more carricks. The Hulks are being decimated quickly, but this is going to repel the rest of these Hulks. Remember, if Guz reaches a critical mass of carricks, the initial salvos coming out before the Hulks get in range will cost out dearly. That being said, now you can start to get rid of these expansions, start to just milk his range advantage to maybe start sinking these keeps, which are a hefty investment. That was most of DauT's stone. And yeah, they'll start to sink it. And this will allow Guz to move forward. It's critical he gets rid of these keeps, because right now he can't push past this choke point. He has repelled his opponent, but now he can't exploit any advantage he gets in the future. So he really needs to get 5, 6 of these carricks out, and then I think it should just be demo ships and Hulks. I really hope he doesn't go beyond 5 carricks. I think it would be a mass overkill situation. Really would love to just see him repair these as well, by the way. Just send a few fishing ships up. Because in this static time, this has been the difference. I feel like a lot of these ships have constantly been getting repaired by DauT, whether it's by fishing ships, whether it's by dock placement, whereas less so when it comes to Guz's fleet. In fact, if Guz wants to win this, like in this moment, just take these relics out right now and stick them in the docks. If you stick them in the docks, a 15% attack speed buff on both carricks and the Hulks will allow you to just completely destroy DauT. That being said, I think from Guz's perspective, he probably feels like because of the transitioning you do with Hulks, where you switch sides, right? Where you flip sides to shoot again, the attack speeds may be wasted, but I think it depends on how many carricks he gets. If he keeps investing carricks, I really want to see him use these relics in the docks. That being said, carricks having their effect so far, just getting rid of all these defense structures that DauT has built up in these choke points. And remember, the gold treacle we talked about is continuing. Look at DauT's numbers now. DauT is down to 600. It's almost 3,000 gold. Guz actually has more gold than he can waste. Sorry, spend. But let's be honest, at this stage, you just want to find a way of wasting it, which we'll call spending. Is he pop capped? He has to be pop capped. Yeah, he's pop capped. This is why this is happening. This is the power of carricks and also the detriment. His economy is too strong as well. He's got 111. I believe DauT's probably about 90. It's 78. Okay, even lower than I expected. So Iaguz really needs to free up some of this. I would love to see him just burn some of these fishing ships, perhaps, unless he intends to go for land army soon. If he's not going land army, these fishing ships are almost wasted at this stage, and they're just eating up pop cap. Oh, that demo ship value! DauT, just before the dock goes down, he gets rid of the demo fleet. Really costly for Iaguz. And now the Hulk fleet is ready to go. Hulk smash! Carricks too close. Hulk smash more! Demo ships, boom! And they're in! They clean it up! Iaguz's fleet is decimated! He didn't get the split, the micro wasn't good enough! Iaguz has lost his fleet! And DauT is in control of the seas. He repels the siege. Iaguz, yes, he has the monies. Yes, he has the Skrilla to rebuild this army. But does he have the tea at the time? DauT on his way. Someone kick it up to Pirates of the Caribbean music time, because that is what DauT is feeling right now. Cannonballs ahoy. Are the cannonballs good enough, though? DauT is about to zerg this StarCraft player. Boom ships, they sink to the Hulks. Chase in, though. Choke point working against him. DauT needs to get closer. He's not marking this correctly. He will finally fix that. Carricks just being used to just absorb all the damage at this stage. HRE. Whew. You're starting to realize the difference here. You're starting to feel like, yeah, in real life, France definitely has more coastal influence, but in this match as well, it's just been the same. Like, the docks are being reconstructed for DauT. He'll rebuild this army. Iaguz, like we said, is the gold surplus he has. But right now, his biggest enemy actually is his own economy. 116 with 28 idle eco workers. He needs to just hit the delete key on them right now. Where's the other? Apparently there's 28. Apparently there's 28 idle right now. Is this game lying to me? Okay, there's a bunch. Yeah, so he's moving to a new island. But really, why? Like, the problem you're having right now is you don't actually have enough troops in these fights because you are the pop cap limited side. And DauT, trying to snipe out the keep, will have to back away as he sees the fleet incoming. He doesn't have carricks yet. In fact, is he even bothering? No, okay, this is smartly identified by DauT, by the way. Why are you investing in carricks at this stage? Like, this was my worry about Iaguz. He keeps going back for what? 6? 1, 2, 3. I think he's slowed it down now. He's understood it's less valuable, so he's only got 3 carricks. Make that 4. But I don't want to see more. 5 carricks. Okay. I keep renegotiating on this, guys, but I'm going to have to cut it off at some point. 5 carricks, the max. By the way, demo ship go boom again. Huge chunk of the fleet gone. DauT is just catching him off guard with demo ships alone. And I think it's mismicroing every time. He gets him. Yeah, I think he took the blast radius, right? He took the blast radius research. That's why this is becoming so effective. Look at the demo ships again. Demo ship, go and boom your fleet. Half health for the carrick, instantly gone. So both sides have fully upgraded these now, right? So yeah, 420 damage on this side. Blaze it, baby. 420 on the other. Now, these demo ships are getting so much value from DauT because DauT is actually microing any move by Iaguz. Iaguz, I feel like multiple times now, has had his fleet caught off guard, not looking. Just sat on the crapper, taking a break, and, well, as a result, regretting his existence every time. But this time, look at the size of this fleet. It's going to require some serious micro from DauT to get through them all in time. Let's see if he does it. Chase in. One gets decent boom value. The rest of the demo fleet's going in. DauT goes for the Delta split. Is it good enough? No, he's going to sink most of the fleet. Oh my god! The damage! DauT, he just lost 60% at least of his fleet. Hulks have been reduced to under 10. Pushing now there. Iaguz taking advantage of this again. Boom fleet is good. Gets some more Hulks in return. And this is just the play. The numbers are just too high. They cannot take them down quick enough before they reach the lines in these clumps of 8 or 9 demo ships. And this is the moment where anyone who's played games that have these type of units are just sitting there. Like, for example, if anyone here who's played Red Alert 2 and you're up against the suicide trucks, you're like, well, it's balanced in that game because when they go boom, they hurt their own troops. But nope. Demo ships don't work that way in AoE 4, baby. Demo ship Zerg is the way, and who else to do it but a StarCraft player? 10 demo ships coming in. He's going to Delta split them right now. Chomps into one load, chomps into the other. Gallius is now, what? Gallius carricks as well? Heavily damaged. Iaguz hasn't re-established his fleet though, so he doesn't have the numbers to push in off the back of this demo fleet spam. Instead, it's becoming a fast stalemate. The only problem here is DauT is completely stripped of gold. We've reached that point in the game. Look at it. He has no gold coming in. So he's having to trade all this wood, all this food to get surplus there. Meanwhile, Iaguz, swag glasses on, moved across the island that DauT was exploiting, now gets a new wood line, and he still has plenty of gold to fall back on. Look at this. 8,000, 8,000. He doesn't even mine it here. So, like, he's got a small force back here, sure. But a lot of this is just trickling in from the cathedrals. And now bombard cannons. So just on land, trying to get rid of the rest of this. He sets up Siege Workshop, so it's just bombard cannons alone is his land investment to try and get rid of this expansion. Keep in mind, these bombard cannons can do a reasonable amount of damage, actually, on the water as well, right? Like, you compare the 10 tower range, these bombards are at 10 as well. So the only thing they'll be able to instantly trade with them is carricks. And carricks are a pricey investment for a gold-capped player right now. He does not have the income to sustain a carrick army. And you can just see the difference. I just look at it. More demo ships. The only thing that you can really afford is DauT is demo ships. And look at Iaguz is just looking for the fleet. And he's got to realize now, when he starts to come to these areas, he doesn't see a fleet anymore, his opponent has to be done. Like, there's no eco left. Decent value gain nonetheless, as DauT. Oh no, he didn't boom it! And he won't attack it either. He'll go for a little bit more value. Still a good trade for the most for DauT. He even gets one demo ship in to clean these up. But the problem is that there's no fleet left for DauT. Gus knows what he's done here, and this should be the moment where he starts producing carricks en masse. Yeah, more carricks coming. He doesn't even care about Hulk ships anymore because now he needs something that can siege the land very effectively. Like, if he sees more Hulks, send more demo ships. Easy, baby. This is so well played from Guz. Guz now with 50 idle workers because they have nothing left to chop on this island. Good lord. Meanwhile, always falling back. DauT, nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's coming for your base. Guz gonna take your gold. Guz gonna take your life. Carrick on Carrick. They have healing advantage, but number of advantages there for Guz. However, the wraparound DauT backstabs him as well, so these Carricks are going to fall because the rest of the fleet weren't coming in. Guz was waiting. But now that he's got this scouted information on how small the force is, he should feel confident to push him fully here. And yeah, sniping them out before they can regroup as well. This would be a big deal. Demo ships rushing in, and they are going to boom this Carrick so hard. Doosh. Oh, he wasted all of them. No, no. So there's actually an intermittence before these demo ships identify that the target's gone. And because of that, Guz just wasted a lot more demo ships than he needs to. He still sinks both these Carricks, though, so he doesn't care. He now has full control of the sea. There is really nothing left in the chamber for DauT. He has plenty of wood to burn, but that is literally it. And the keeps are just being constructed right now. Guz, I mean, the opportunity really was there earlier for DauT to rush the eco, but because he's stalemated, because of this ridiculous spawn, Guz has literally just held the gold supply hostage for most of this game. Demo ships in. It's just such bad trades. Iaguz is literally just pulling out giant stacks of cash, setting them on fire, and then waving them back and forth above his head as he sings the victory song of the Russians from World War II, as he is just zerging his way to victory with demo ships. Oh, the keeps go down. The wood line's almost done here, but I don't know if DauT's even getting these villies out. He doesn't have a transport ship. There's nowhere to run. The peasants have been left behind to die. No. Looks like he did get rid of the cannons, but now there's just knights coming out as well. And it's just silly how this is stalemated for no like particularly great reason. Iaguz doesn't have 100% confirmation that DauT is out, right? Like he's just got no gold to play with. But you have to feel like you would have seen a big fleet by now if it wasn't the case. I think Iaguz is a bit paranoid because he has so much idle economy that he needs to sort. Remember, Guz is limited by wood, right? That's the one thing DauT has. But like vice versa, like look at this. Like if there was a way to trade between them, would they take it? Because one of them has gold and one of them has wood. That being said, Guz isn't going to be limited. Like, look how much wood he has access to here. DauT, really, the only thing he's able to grab anymore is wood. Probably shouldn't have said it that way. But yeah, the only thing that DauT can grab right now is wood. And that's a problem. That is a mighty big problem. Remember, the more you trade for these resources, the worse the trades become. So even having... Oh my god! Well, that's the moment where you didn't want your ship to auto-attack. So that's the primary defense fleet just gone. It's just demo ships now. So Guz is going to move those in. Now the ship advantage goes to DauT as he's the one with carricks coming out. Oh my god, he's rebuilding the fleet. Okay, there we go. I was worried for Guz there because he had no new ones coming out. So he's playing it ultra defensive. He's not rebuilding his fleets on the front. He doesn't want to lose these pricey carricks. But these demo ships are just holding the mid lines of the sea hostage. Oh, this is incredible. Meanwhile, this carrick will snipe out the cannon soon. That's that gone. Knights trying to get rid of the villagers before they can stack into these outposts. So carrick should be able to clean this up anyway. He did get rid of the keep, but like to what end? It's just wasting your opponent's economy. But the problem is to go build another keep, so this choke point is still going to be frustrating for DauT to play through. That being said, look at the move now. Villagers onto the island, they'll spot out that there are people already here. They're trying to spam out the keep quick enough, and there are so many workers here that he will easily get this keep up first. And now with the carricks, they can also just get rid of these outposts. So all this wood that DauT was getting access to, that's gone. That's not a factor anymore. He won't have it anymore. He'll have no resource generation anywhere. Like the only thing left is what? A few trees back here that you can defend a little bit longer. What's on your main island? Anything? Hey, look guys, there's deer. No one bothered to hunt these, so that's always an option, I guess. But outside that, DauT is so restricted at this stage. Like he's at a stage where now he's been given his tax report, he has a budget for the year, and he has to stay under it. And he has to find value. Meanwhile, Iaguz is basically just taking all of his supply budget and toilet rolls, throwing them in the trash, or he's unwinding them first. He's taking the cardboard in the inside, and then he's taking rolls, like stacks of $50 bills, taping them together, and then rolling them around the toilet roll with the intention of wiping his ass with money. That's where he's at right now. And there's another fleet. That's so costly. DauT cannot afford to lose things like this. And what is the move? All right, demo fleet trade will be good again. Iaguz doesn't care as he continues wiping his ass with money. In fact, he's not even going to lose the demo fleet. Oh my god! The delayed blast radius, he'll at least get most of these, but it just doesn't matter. There's a never-ending onslaught of demo ships coming out from Guz's location. I just didn't realize that some of these docks should have been renamed suicide bomber camps. So they just seem to be pushing out never-ending demo ships. How do you convince people to be willing to do this, by the way? Considering that these ships turn at the last moment, this isn't like a I set the match and then I jump off the side and live. These people are committed and on board. How do you, like, is it criminals? Like, you're going to say, oh yeah, we'll give your family some money. Like, they must be bribing the families back home to do this. Not that Iaguz could not afford it with over 5,000 surplus gold. I'm pretty sure you could afford to bribe every single one of these suicide ships. As the Boom Boys can continue on. One interesting thing I will say that I haven't been seeing, by the way, as much, or at least it doesn't look like it, is people utilizing the manual detonate doesn't seem to be happening. We've seen plenty of times where people have like auto-aggroed and continue to like attack click a location, but I very rarely have been seeing people utilize the auto-detonate to the maximum advantage. I think that's something that will definitely change as time goes on, but slow death for DauT at this stage. Food, the only thing he's able to get of anything off anymore, and that's about to disappear. Says, hello, fishing line. Straight in towards the docks. Doesn't get him close enough. One gets sniped out by the red palace, but oh, not the fishes. Oh no, someone send out a rescue crew. I doubt, like, this is his back play to try and get back in the game. He just needs to get food. It's the only thing you can really trade for gold at a reasonable rate. And the wood is limited, right? I mean, at least you can buy that back at good rates, but the gold is the biggest problem here. Demo ship. Kill the villagers. Nah, he's not going to do it. He thinks that he actually, like, genuinely, Gus at this point still doesn't know if he's ahead, like, that far ahead. He still thinks there's a recovery plan for DauT. And this should make it all too obvious that there's nothing here. That finally Gus can win the game. So we'll move the carricks in. He now knows there's no southern fleet being built up, which means he doesn't have to worry about demo ships stabbing him in the back. Or rather, blowing him up in the back. I guess the shrapnel stabs a bit. But yeah, Gus moving in. He'll siege down all these docks. And man, I think part of this really did come down to map generation just being a pain in the arse. But part of this really came down to no one investing in land. I think DauT had a moment in this game where he could have rushed the Gold Vein Island. I think his concern is that it was such a big investment with limited resources. What he didn't want to do is put himself in a scenario. Oh, the boom again. Not bad, not bad. There's still just too much to get through. But the point I was making, I think DauT didn't want to put himself in a situation where he invested heavily into a land army, and if that land army got quashed here, the naval supremacy of Gus would have cut off his retreat entirely, right? So it would have been a gamble all play. I think he could at least maybe put a scout on that island to see what was happening. Because if we look at the vision, he's never been on this island, right? No. He knows Sacred Site, and that's literally it. I think this is the type of situation where, like, post-game, DauT probably feels a little bit like he knows he's behind, right? But he doesn't realize by how much. But he feels he's a bit confused by it so much that there's so many constant fleets coming out from Gus. So, like, he knows it's HRE, but there has to be something else he's not seeing here. So I reckon he'll watch this back and probably just, like, punch the monitor at how many gold veins are on this one island. And more importantly, what he done with these gold veins. He didn't even take them. He literally just held it hostage the entire game. And that is the frustrating difference for DauT. But DauT finally investing in some things on land. He does go for a Reboldican, so this should counter out any treacle of units out of the stables, especially with the backup of the Red Palace. And he will get his opponent off this island, slowly but surely. Problem he has right now is every single thing he builds is just... You can see it as a measurable investment of your current resources, right? It feels like he's arrived in the early game again where he has to budget out what he wants to do. Whereas Gus genuinely just throws money at any problems, right? It's like, oh, what's that? The orphanage is on fire? Build 10 more of them, Timmy. What's that? The orphanage is refusing to work in the sweatshop right now? Get more orphans. I don't know why all these analogies revolve around orphans. People don't like the orphan analogies? Buy more analogies! And that is pretty much Guz's solution to this late game situation. So Trebs will sink the keep. Reboldican cannot get in to snipe out this line right now. But you actually just can feel the influence. Like, just look at the mini-map. Look at the position of these ships. You can actually feel the hands wrapping around DauT's neck right now. I think he has, like, one more play, maybe. I just don't know what it is with such a finite amount of resources. If you can keep a Treb army alive, that's kind of cool. But I don't know how you then migrate island to island. Like, how... I guess it's the moment where we should really talk about how could DauT fix... like, theoretically fix this problem he had enough time. Farms? Switching over to farms? Because you're not getting C. But the problem is this. Look, straight away. Iaguz, he says, okay, you've had your time. Let's see... You know what? Trust out. I'll measure mine. You measure yours. Let's see who's bigger. And right now, the Zerg force is going to be bigger for Gus as he starts to spam out the racks. The racks, which, by the way, are these the first one he's built all game? I think so. He hasn't actually upgraded any of his units. It's just going to be a men-at-arms spam to burn everything of the DauT Empire to the ground. DauT is he's just still trying to deal with this extension. He's actually building stables. A part of me respects that DauT is like, he's seeing this out, man. He's not just tapping out. But genuinely, you have to be at a stage where you sit, like, what's his current vision? He sees all these racks, right? He sees a few of them. And I think when he sees about 20 men at arms, there's just going to be a GG call instantly, which will take about a minute of that. But yeah, I think DauT, like I said, he had a few ways out of this. I really love the idea of this military expansion on this island where his opponent built a keep, and then pushing across. I think that would have been cool once he cleared the wood lines. I think the problem was that it was hard to place because of the wood lines, and if you think about how long it took him to clear those wood lines, by the time it was clear, that's when Guz had pushed past the choke point again, right? I think the actual play, the really cool play that DauT could have attempted was to build up a small military force on this mid-island between them, and then basically sneak a covert op into the back of the base, right, like 10 knights, and snipe out a bunch of the eco that Guz has. Because Guz, it would be a gamble, right? But when you see Guz has this much naval, and you see he's outnumbering you, you can't match him there. So you have to look for advantage somewhere else. So gambling on land, when you think how powerful French knights are early on especially, could have been good. Even in Castle Edge, I think they're still strong enough. I think the problem for DauT is he couldn't find the big gold veins off his primary island, and I think that's the limitation that maybe scared him a little bit, that if you invest in 10 knights, that's 1,000 gold, right? That's a few hulks extra you could have had. But really well played by Guz with that tech timing. Honestly, the tech time in this game was amazing. And Guz, even the Villies, man, everyone's having a party at the French keep. It's the French Revolution, baby. Burn it to the ground. But yeah, that is the thing. Like, Guz, honestly, God tier tech up timing. It just has to be said again. Was it 7.5 minutes, I think, was his tech free timing when he built this cathedral? And really well played to sneak the extra relics. I think the extra relics really helped him boom. I think if DauT had access to those, if he got 3 of those relics there, it's not a completely different game, but he's able to keep fielding an army longer, right? So maybe it's not just an infinite Zerg of I have all the money in the world to throw at the problem, like Guz did manage to get to in this game. And then maybe if that mid game is different, we see him make some sort of stunned approach to getting onto the top island, or maybe kind of hit and run tactic occurs on Guz's primary island. But overall, really just showing the power of HRE. You guys wanted a solution. Everyone keeps asking me, how do I beat early hulks from France? Well, no Viva la France today, ladies and gentlemen. The might of the German Empire is how you do it. Quick tech up, get just as many hulks, and with superior gold gathering in the Third Age, make sure that your ships shoot plenty more spears at theirs.